I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by. A glimmer of hope.
Greetings and hallucinations, ladies and lads. I am Chancellor of the harmonious frequencies of the mighty Empire of Onion, and this is Darkest Dungeon. Man, if I didn't know any better, at first glance, that kind of looks like this man is giving this man the finger. I know, though, from the character models that he's holding up his little skull with the candle, but if you didn't know that, and you just glanced at it, what would you think? It totally looks like that, even when I know what it is. Now that I talked about it, it looks like that. Anyway, I'm not interested. These guys are going to be level 0. We already have 3 occultists, one of which is a mercenary, so this means nothing to me. We'll take a look and see. We already have 2 houndmasters, though, don't we? Yeah. And I think they're both pretty good. He's cursed, but we can easily fix that if we go to the courtyard and defeat the Countess, which we still don't have any invitations for, which is really annoying me. Like nothing else. He's got the runs, reduces dodge and max HP. That's pretty bad. Did he get Twilight Dreamer? No, ignores stealth. No. The special perk that we got, I think, was a debuff resistance of like plus 50 or something. Mallory needs stress treatment here. She doesn't have specific ones. She got Corvid's Eye. Okay. Perfect. You can go here then. Pray. Clarinel, what are you about? Bad gambler? Alright. We won't send you to gamble then. Meditate. We'll be fine. Youtber, you might be able to sit out for now. Monceau has hemophilia. That's not the worst thing that could happen, but it's not great. I guess we could go ahead and get both of them. I think they both have hemophilia. Is there anybody with a worse disease, though, right now? It would seem like no. So we'll just fill up our sanitarium here with hemophiliacs. Get so cured. You heard me? Who else wants stress treatment, I mean? Adnel? Will you meditate? No. We'll only meditate. Perfect. Okay. Get in there then. Meditate then. Only I'm running out of uncursed characters that have negative quirks to treat, so this is going to be tough finding people to throw in here. I checked the stagecoach already. Yeah, so without invitations, it's hard to figure out what I want to do next. I think the Darkest Dungeon is one of our best bets, but mostly because it's late. I should have recorded this like 10 hours ago, and I procrastinated all day. Farmstead, though. I mean, we don't have a good training one. We have a bunch of level 5 dudes that aren't quite level 6. We could take them on a level 6 run, but it would be risky. Especially if we tried to throw in... Well, no. All the people we have available right now are level 5. So we don't even really need a level up run right now. I was just trying to use them to get invitations. We're still only at low infestation level, though. And I'm not sure how fast that increases. So we will be better off to wait until it's like medium at least. Obviously, because we haven't run into any egg sacs in our past like 2 journeys while it was infestation low. So that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, I think Farmstead again is going to be the one. Even though I don't quite feel like a long run. We also have Houndmaster, Plague Doctor, Jester, and Abomination available as I build the team. I think the Vestal is a good call for a healer, but she didn't seem to cut it, you know? She got stressed out really fast. Why, though? Perfectionist maybe had something to do with it. I think she picked that up, though, after the last one. Reduced damage isn't a big deal. Ruin's Phobe should not have any impact. Spiritual, so she heals herself more. Disease resist. Okay. No, that's reduced stress at High Torch, yeah. Because it's a positive quirk. So she's got all good things. I don't understand what was wrong that she would freak out and die so easy. What's our death blow resist? 67, that's pretty average. It's nothing to write home about. Yeah, see, he's the same. But look at all this. Diurnal, Unquiet Mind. Neither of these really matter, if I'm honest. None of his negative quirks really count. 2 of his positive quirks don't count, though. Natural Swing, Mankind Hater is kind of nice. I can't remember if we face Min in there very often, besides when the light changes. I don't think Husks count as Min. I think it has to specifically be humans. So, yeah. He doesn't actually have very many good quirks here. What was in here again? Houndmaster, Jester, Plague Doctor, Abomination. What's our Jester look like then? Germaphobe and Shard Mercenary, Cove Scrounger, Gothic, Night Owl, Unerring. See, the Jester Occultist combo was really good that first time. That's how we made it to the Sleeper in the first place, because he was able to stop us from getting afflicted so often and do some damage. So that was all very good. What about you? Oh no, Imposter Syndrome, Fear of Eldritch, Hyromania, all of those are really bad. Healer's Gift, we're not camping that often. Tough is kind of nice, and that's irrelevant. So our Jester is much better. Never fear, Jester, I'm not leaving you. Yeah. So besides that, we don't really want to take on any new dudes. Monceau, of course, is gone, and Ahelion is one of my best characters. Bounty Hunters are good. We could make use of him and the Highwayman, maybe. But it all depends on what name party I can put together for this one. So let's get that going then. Let me see what I can figure.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
No better intro to that could be said. So I did it again. I went to record an episode, and then when I went to the character selection, lo and behold, I had to go use the bathroom, get some water, get ready for a big recording session, because we went into the farmstead this week, right? Recorded for 2 hours. I paused it, by the way. I paused my recording for the audio and the video before I went to do all that stuff. I told myself while I was gone, I need to remember to unpause the video before I go and select a team. And so I came back, I sat down, I selected a team, and I got started into the farmstead. Recorded for 2 hours, the farmstead. We made it all the way to the Sleeper. Let me see if I can remember the party combination. It wasn't him. Obviously, it was Campion, because he's our mercenary. It wasn't Dismas. It was Neot, who was in there. Actually, he goes here. And it was Frosiart, who's gone now, you can see. And then Harcourt, who's also gone. Thankfully, I have the dudes. The Merry Men. I was really excited about the team. It was pretty good. 76 foes reaped is how many we did reap in this last one. We made it all the way to the Sleeper. I battled the freaking Sleeper without recording it. Thankfully, though, I didn't defeat it. Okay? I didn't defeat it. So you have that to be happy about. Harcourt is gone. Lost in the dimensions beyond time and space. We lost his trinkets. Frosiart is gone. Lost in the dimensions beyond time and space. We lost his trinkets. We were able to bring his back. Mercenaries claimed 18 shards as payment. We only came back with 27, so that leaves us with 9 that we get to keep. Returned from the farmstead having slaughtered 76 foes. Unprecedented, indeed. It was a great deal. We went in there. The light kept changing to haunting, which increases the stress that we take, increases the enemy dodge, right? And so through the first 3 waves or whatever that we were fighting, we had one wave that was haunting, and it was fish folk. So we fought through the regular husks for like the first 2 waves, I think. We got a party heal and then a single person heal, which was exactly what we needed. And then we hit those fish folk, and our stress went real high, real high. Thankfully, right before the miller, there was a camp, and so we got to sit down and camp. He healed all of our stress pretty well. Gave us the buff to reduce overall stress incoming and stuff. He gave him the bonus to size 2 enemies, gave him the bonus to melee, which also includes a bonus to accuracy and dodge. That was this one, right, that skill. And he used his planned takedown. Also, the goodies that I gave him was the tassel, right, which increases damage versus marked targets. Yeah, we'll sort those. Damage versus marked targets, accuracy versus marked, and crit versus size 2 as well. So that was a hardcore bonus for him. So every time he was marking dudes, he was getting, yeah, that plus 20% damage plus his usual class benefit of 90%. I'm sorry if I'm going into this in too much detail, but I have to have a video that isn't like 5 minutes long for this week, and I'm not recording an entire another dungeon after 2 hours of recording, so I apologize for this. But this is the best that I can do right now after all that time, just totally and completely wasted. Yeah, so he was able to do tons of damage to size 2 dudes, which the Miller is. I gave him the trinket for the Miller, for the bonus damage and stuff. We have to, no, we kept that one because he survived. Yeah, he was the only one that survived. I'm pretty sure we kept that one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we've got Mildred's locket. I gave him that one and the, this one for the damage for range skills and stuff. So that worked out really well. I gave him an overture box, which boosted his health and dodge, and then a virtue ring, right, plus 25% virtue chance. And I gave him the death blow resistance, which increases virtue chance by 20%, increases death blow resistance by like 8%. I think it's really small. It's the Ancestor's Tentacle. And I gave him something else that I can't remember. But anyways, we got to the Miller. We took him down after a pretty grueling fight. He was mostly, I would use the Duelist Advance to move him up so that he would be in a position to give us the Battle Ballad and the Inspiring Tune to heal our stress, right? So we fought the Miller. He actually came up and stole the final blow because he had already gone, didn't kill the Miller. He was really low on health. I didn't want to wait for these other guys to go, and so I just lunged in with him with his Dirk Strike, and bam, killed it. There was a Scarecrow there, which nobody could see. It was stealth. He had the only reveal skill, and I'd used it way earlier in the fight, so it wasn't available for that battle. And so we killed him. It was perfect. It was great. Then we went into the next two, or I think it's 4 waves in the second half that we had to do, and 2 of those were haunting, again, haunting light. And like I say, that increases our stress by 10% and increases the enemy dodge by 10. So some of the enemies were coming out there with dodge like 56. One of them, the Virago, I think they're called, had a dodge of something like 79, something insane like that. And so even after using his ability to reduce their dodge by 20, he was still almost 60 dodge. And he had a debuff resistance of 110%, so he couldn't even debuff him every time. In fact, it only hit once, I think. But anyways, once we got to the first Haunting Light one, it was mostly occultists, right, and bandits, which he's really good with, because he gets a plus 90% damage versus marked, 35% damage versus human. He had that tassel with the plus 20% damage versus marked, and so I was marking everybody I could. A couple of the pig centaurs came in, so they're size 2 enemies, so he was getting that additional critical from the tassel, and from this, right, increased damage versus size 2. Huge damage. This guy was doing like 72, 59 crits, stuff like that, on the regular. Plus his Battle Ballad bonuses for crit was adding to that on top. So this team was dealing out so much damage. It was pretty insane. Killing dudes instantly, just left and right. We powered through it pretty good until we got to the next to the last wave. I missed a critical heal on the bounty hunter, so he got killed in one of the final waves. I say one of the final waves because, you know, as we kill enemies, more spawn or whatever. It was the last wave before the sleeper, and we probably had to kill 4 or 5 enemies after he died, and so it was just this 3. I was using the Highwayman to do all of the damage. I kept him in the very back, because obviously we only had 3 positions. So I kept him in the very back to give us that buff for the crit and the speed, so that we could always go first and get my stuff out of the way and get them damaged and all that. So we were barely hanging on by a thread by the time we even got to the sleeper. Well, right before the sleeper was another camp, so we got rested, we got healed up and everything. We were basically at 100%. I think he had a little bit of stress, but we were at full health, and yeah, pretty good on stress. So we walked in there and we just dropped so much damage with the highwayman. We had him marked almost constantly. I couldn't remember what all the crystals did, but they turned out to be not that bad. And so then once the sleeper broke out of its crystal and we were fighting against it, we were dropping a lot of damage. Of course, the sleeper drops damage too, like mad, and it was dropping stress on us as well. Even with a plus 20% virtue chance for him and plus 25% virtue chance, sorry, reversed, 25-20, they both became afflicted instead. So I think he was fearful. Affliction refracted? No, that's not what it was. But anyways, they became afflicted. Then he ended up being afflicted as well. All 3 of them did. And so once that happened, it was pretty much over. I don't know how much horror the sleeper did to us, but it seemed like on the very last round, they were taking upwards of 40, maybe 50 stress, because they were a full afflicted and maybe a half in the next tier, and he had a heart attack and died. Same thing with him. It just popped up, and he had a heart attack and died, like right at the very end. I had the sleeper down to about a quarter health, and I just knew if I dropped his finale on the thing, which was up to 200% damage by then, if I dropped his finale on the thing and we survived that round, he would be able to finish him off in the next round. So that's how close we were to actually finishing off the sleeper with the Merry Men. And if I just hadn't missed that heal, I ended up marking somebody to reduce their dodge, because we were in the haunting light or whatever, and we just weren't hitting as often as I thought we should. And I don't know why, because he was at death's door. He had a mortality debuff, and instead of healing him, I did a debuff instead. So that was a huge misplay, and that's probably what cost me that run. And now I'm kind of thankful for it, because even though it took me 2 hours, I didn't have it recorded. And that would have been absolutely tragic if I had beaten that boss and not had it on video. So at least there's that, you know, at least there's that. But that's what happened, and that's why we're not going into a dungeon this time. And I apologize 1,000 times. I even reminded myself that I needed to restart the recording when I got back, and I still forgot to do it. I'm livid. I don't know. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired of stuff like that happening to me. But it did, and it's only my own fault, you know. So hopefully next time I can do better. And hopefully next time it'll be more exciting than just me telling you about the excitement that happened. Ugh. I mean, this could have been like 3 episodes for me, where I just would have had to record and just had it, you know, backlog recorded. And now it's barely even going to be 1. So it's just as painful for me, I'm sure, as it is for you guys. And I can't apologize enough. So we'll have to take care of them week after next. We'll probably have to collect... Is the Shrieker even around? No. So we'll figure out what we're going to do next week. We still don't have any invitations for this. We don't have any good runs for XP, except that everybody's level 5. I talked about this in the intro already. So if we do any training rounds, it'll probably be in level 6 dungeons, which is pretty dangerous. I may end up trying to only level up 2 dudes at a time and take 2 level 6 along with them. To escort or whatever. Or we may just do another Darkest Dungeon, who knows. But if you want to catch another episode, be sure to subscribe. Consider supporting my channel by becoming a member or through the Patreon link down in the video description, and feel free to check out any of my other videos or playlists that you might be interested in. I thank you so much for any time that you spend on my channel, and I hope blessings of wisdom and peace on all of you. Farewell.